Hello, welcome pen friends. Here today to do a little review on the CVS Caliber notebook. And the notebook I'm reviewing is the one subject. It's got 2 pockets, 100 pages, and it's college ruled. So it's this one. And it is, whoops, it's a big notebook, so it's going to be a little hard to keep it all in frame. It may not be possible. It's 11 by 8.5. And I've been really enjoying this notebook. Yesterday I went and got another one because I can predict and see that I'm going to fill up my other one, and I didn't have another one to move into. So what I want to do is they're exactly the same. Let me get this up higher so you can see it. It's the distributed by CVS Pharmacy Incorporated out of Rhode Island in the United States, and it's made in Vietnam. The paper is very fountain pen friendly. So what I really want to do is show you this notebook. This is the new one, and then the other one is identical, but it's a black cover, and we're going to get right into that one, and I'll do a little demonstration about what I've been doing over the past 2 weeks in that one that has really been fun. So it's a spiral notebook, first off, and like I said, it's going to be really hard to keep it all in frame. I tried several adjustments, but it's so funny because today's topic for my work is perfectionism, so I'm trying to get over the idea that it's got to be a certain way. But it does have a sturdy spiral. It's not my favorite spiral. I have other notebooks where the spiral is a little better, but it is sturdy. It's not flimsy, and it does work. So, and then it's got this vinyl cover. It's kind of a vinyl, and I'll show you. I've got stickers on mine. It's got the pocket, 2 pockets in the front, which are extremely handy because they hold the full-size printouts, or, you know, regular sized printer paper. And so I have notes and things like that I put in there. And this would be perfect for school because it's got all your stuff you could fill in, projects and so on. And then it's lined paper. Let's see, I forgot to measure. I got to get the right ruler. Okay, let me just double check, but I'm getting 7 millimeters. Yeah, it's 7 millimeter line spacing, and they're calling that college ruled in this notebook. So, and it works really good for me. I've got big writing, so I also get along really well with their wide rule, which is bigger. And let's see, do I have that here? Yeah, we'll measure that when we get down the road though. So 100 pages, and then the backing is sturdy, but I've seen sturdier, but it's definitely not flimsy. I mean, you're gonna be able to take notes on your lap in a seminar or whatever if you want to with this paper. So I think we'll just leap into the other one. I'm going to show you what I've been doing because I really have enjoyed it, and it's brought a new dimension to this notebook, what I can do with it. So, and let's see, I paid $5.79 for the new one. I kind of was balking at that because I normally wait for a sale, but I know that this one's going to fill right up, and I wanted to have another one on hand, so I just, you know, got over it. But they do have buy one get one 50% off very often, so look for that because it has saved me a lot of money several different times. So this I'm using for my workbook on a project I'm doing, and I keep all of my little notes on the book that I took before I actually got the book. And well, I have another index card I usually put here that has part of my note taking. So I really find this handy. But this is just to show that this is the exact same notebook. I always save these because of the fact that I come back in and review. But it's exactly the same as the new one that I showed you, except for the color. Under $5. It was under $5. Now it's they have a 3-subject one online for $5.99. Watch for sales. Yeah, pocket, college ruled, fountain pen friendly. So I've got, you know, it gives you room to put all kinds of stuff, and that has been really helpful because in the smaller notebooks I just don't have that. This I mined out of a Mead notebook, so never mind that. It doesn't come with it. But we're gonna, of course, most of this is highly personal, emotional notes and stuff. But today I was doing personality trait of perfectionism, and this is one of the assignments, is to do these mind maps. And I've been doing this for 2 weeks now, and I just love the fact that I can use any of my fountain pens, including my parallels. I can use my water brush, my little, it's here, let's see, let me show you, and we're going to do this anyway. We're going to make one. I can use my water brush and kind of activate the fountain pen ink, and it makes it a lot more fun, and it works with how my brain works, because if I could put color on the page, and if I don't doodle really well, but I love my little stampers, and it'll hold just anything, whatever I want to do, so. Anyway, then on the back, I can use both sides, which is a very good plus for this paper. And the assignment always includes trying to come up with a little action steps for yourself, because we're not going to annihilate our personality traits or tendencies, but with this this Dr. Schubner, his work on unlearning your pain, you know, it kind of begins with more self-awareness. So without any more blah blah, let's make one. Let's just make a mind map. And I've got all of my stuff here. I've got my little tray, my stacker tray full of pens, and this is going to be the main thing because I love to activate it. And then I've got my currently inked letter writing pens in the Nock Sinclair. And I really have been happy with how juicy these 3 medium Twisbys are, and they've been part of this project too, because then the red is, it's funny because the red doesn't really activate as much, but the blue ink that I have, the Monteverde Horizon Blue does. And I'm noticing one thing that I need to find, because I'm going to have probably brain blips about what I've got in some of these pens. Okay, I think I'm situated. I just, this is my brain. This tells me what I've inked up, and I do have quite a few pens inked up right now, in addition to the 8 that I'm really testing and writing with for my letters this month. Okay, so this is the Noodler's Ahab with a Fountain Pen Revolution Ultra Flex Extra Fine, and we're just going to start it off, hopefully. Sometimes... okay, there we go. Yeah, I have noticed that it's getting low with the fill because it's like a guzzler. It's an ink guzzler. So, CVS Caliber notebook. Totally went so fast I missed that letter. Okay, so that's our subject there. And what I hope to do is just show you exactly how I've been doing this. It takes me longer, so I'll try to work a little faster, I guess. But I just want to talk about all the attributes. So, fountain pen friendly. This is kind of how he has you do it. He has you connect everything. But as I've been doing this, it's so much fun to just go ahead and activate the ink with your water brush. It just, and there's been times when I wanted to just go ahead and wipe out what I wrote, which I've done that too. But mostly it's just fun, and it's fun to get the colors to kind of blend together too. It's just fun. Whoops. I try to remember to clean off the tip, because this is a really nice water brush. I can't remember what they're called, but I know I ordered a 3-pack on Amazon, and this happens to be the favorite tip. I think it's the medium size. Okay, so let's do a little, like, it's got the pocket. College ruled. We're going to have to say $6. It's under $6. So I don't call it a cheap notebook. I don't, because there are lots of cheaper notebooks, and you can go when school's going to start and get them for 10 cents or 50 cents, but most of them you can't do this with. where you can use both sides. You can activate with water. You can activate with water on both sides and still not have, what you'll have is sometimes you'll get a little bit of disturbance on your other side, but it's so rare. And the one I just showed you, I didn't get any disturbance in that. So let's see, what else are we going to say about it? Okay, so there's, yeah, well, pockets, college ruled, under $6. We'll leave that alone. Okay. This is one of those pretty colors. This is actually loaded with Lamy Dark Lilac, so it's just really spectacular. Trying to be messy because I've learned that I'm so picky that I just don't have as much fun with things when I'm doing that. Okay, let's see. Let's grab one of our big ones. I've got these all ready to go because my next step is to write letters this morning. This is the Opus 88 Omar purple with Monteverde Purple Rain, I think. Let's see. It has been inked up for a little while, so yeah, Monteverde Purple Rain. So I'm going to also say I love the fact that there's a variety of sizes. This just happens to be the big one, but you all know I have used this smaller size a lot with testing out inks in the past, and I used both sides, and it's, with the exception of, I think, Noodler's King Philip Requiem, which went right through. I've had such good luck with these, you know. And they're not always, you want a really flowy ink too. Sometimes I just use all the same color. Sometimes I go, I just want to see all the color. I'm not sure you guys want to come inside my brain with me. It's not a very, it's a very strange place, but that's okay. And this is one of those that's really pretty to activate too. I like it. You can get a little blue and bring it over, a little purple, and just go nuts, because that's what I like about it. I tried this the other day on some Clairefontaine, and I ended up making the next several pages kind of ugly, and I don't even put anything in between this, and it seems to dry. Seems to help it well, so. Okay, I know that this one is another one I like too. Okay, I've got to be fair as we're talking, because since this is becoming the review, I don't want to wait till the end to say pros and cons. Okay, the spiral, not my favorite. I'll show you my favorite spiral here. I dragged out a whole bunch of stuff. But first, this is the TWSBI VAC 700R Iris with Colorverse Gravity Wave, one of my favorites. And it's just spectacular. I mean, it's just, you know, and you can kind of imagine working on those homework things, especially when you're talking about emotions and personality traits and things that you're trying to process. It's really fun to kind of divert yourself with color and really get into the project. This is my favorite kind of spiral, where it's double, and this is a Clairefontaine. It's actually a notebook I don't really like, but I use it quite a bit for line guides and just scribbling, and it's a shame, but it is good paper. It's hardy and everything, but I wish that CVS Caliber had this kind of rings and their paper, because I like their paper better. Whoops. This place is going to look like a mad scientist was here. Okay. Okay, so something else. There was something else I was going to say. Yeah, usually I just take my time. I guess I'm kind of aware of how long this may take. But there are not a lot of drawbacks to me with this paper. What did we say? We said this particular one is a 7mm. which just works perfectly for me. And this is the Genhao X750 with Rohrenklinger Sulfurino. Again, I'm getting into my letter writing ones now. Let's go ahead and get out this is a Pilot Parallel, and I've been using this quite a bit, trying to get used to it, for making boxes. So let's just make a box. Oops, since that's what I've been doing. See how it is? I haven't gotten used to it yet. It's excellent, and when I get going with the correct pressure, I don't have any trouble, but I'm so new to it. Okay, surely I can think of something to say to put in there. And then, you know, you can use your little side to write with. Okay, so, gosh, suddenly I'm shy. I always have so much to say. Both sides can be used. To me, that's huge, because I just go through paper like a walrus, you know, and so if I can't use both sides, I'm not real happy with it. Now, the other day I did this. You don't have to. I mean, visually, I don't have to activate that ink, but it's kind of neat to do it and then see what happens, because we're going to go on the back after a while. Okay, and then let's see, what else have I got here? Oh yeah, what I found out was this is the Moonman M600S with Noodler's Golden Brown in it, and it might not be the very best ink for writing on this paper, but I love the way it interacts with the other inks, so that was really a lot of fun. Okay, so I talked about the qualities, but I just love the full-sized with the pockets. I get all those, I get printouts, or I get little lists of the feelings lists and things like that I've gotten, and sometimes I lay down an extra line because I want to have more color. But I just found that this was gorgeous whenever you activated it. It just was really pretty. And you get some yellow coming out, so it changes it. I just enjoy it so much. Okay. One drawback that we do have to admit to, let's get the other parallel. I know because you guys have told me, the availability. We'll put a little minus sign. For those of you who are not in the United States, so it's just like not everywhere, and that's a shame, because I really like it, and I know there are other notebooks. I've been hearing about some from Target that I want to try. So did that in black, and then this was neat because that's it's the 1.5 millimeter parallel, and it's just simply a Pilot cartridge. And I thought, wow, that's neat. It kind of like comes out gray. Fun. And it's amazing that this just adds to it for me. That's all. It's just so much fun. You know, and someone on Instagram, I cannot remember who's very artistic, kind of put it out as a challenge, like get your fountain pens out and then get your water brush out, and you'll just enjoy it so much. And it's so true. It's just ridiculously fun. Okay, this is the other Noodler's Ahab, and in this one I've got that gray ink that is Australian Opal Gray by Robert Oster. And like I said in another video, I've got the Fountain Pen Revolution Ultra Flex Extra Fine in it, but it's not writing as juicy as that first one that we wrote with in the middle, that has Sailor Ackaby. So we'll just write something with it. Okay. Like I'm going to be surprised. No bleed through. You can't say that 100%, but I'm comfortable generalizing about this paper because I've done so much with it. And I have only had the most hardy of Noodler's inks bleed through. And of course, this is everything I've got inked up. So this is what I'm wanting to write with. And if it works with what I'm wanting to write with, then I am super happy. So it's not like I'm just selecting what's going to work. This is just exactly what I have inked up. Yeah, this is so cool because a little bit of blue comes out and other colors. And of course I can go and get some color too to enjoy it. But you know, I've talked an awful lot about this paper, but I really thought it would be fun to just do this live, sort of, not live, but okay. I'm trying to remember what's in this one. I should know. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Genhao 992 with Birmingham Allegheny River Twilight, the old formula. And I've really liked how this writes on the paper. Like, this is one where I could just write and go with it for a long time. It's nice and wet ink, and I do think that, yeah, we're connected with that thought. It's flowy inks. And nibs, because it's the nib. There's a broad TWSBI nib on there. Okay. It's so funny because I have so much, you know, it slows down the thought process when you do it this way. So that's making me realize that I probably would normally have more to say. And I find that fascinating. That may be why this process works so well for my homework, for my, you know, digging into how I respond to stress and so on. And, you know, it makes sense. It kind of like makes sense why it's working out. Okay, so I've got the Opus 88 Omar with a stub nib. And I've got that beautiful aquamarine in it, I think. Yeah. This is the Omar with the Pelican Edelstein aquamarine. And I can't remember, I think, testing, yep. I think what I found was that with this particular one, it was slightly dry, it's beautiful. I wouldn't want to sit down and just write page after page with this one because it doesn't write as smoothly as some of the juicier ones do, like, well, even these two, definitely the TWSBI Iris is coming out juicier. And it's not the nib, it's the nib ink combination on the paper. So you've got the three things. Yeah, let's just make a note of that. You've got your nib, your ink, and the paper. So, but it's not so, you can tell already that everything is going so well. And next we'll get out those TWSBI Ecos, because many of you write with those. And they're just so smooth on this. Okay. But the most impressive thing is being able to let this dry for a few minutes and then come back on the back and completely write on the back and even do more water brushing and you're still good. That's what I like. Okay. So I do run into the fact that I want to write up here. I do like to date my page and then put a heading. So today is the 9th and it's Friday and Coco's going crazy. He wanted to go on the other side of the house and I can hear him over there yelling yelling with Manuel. Okay, so we're just going to put CVS Caliber. Okay, I would be writing a lot better with that paper. This is a medium nib with Kaweco Ruby Red. I'm just finding that I can just go nuts with everything that I have inked up and it doesn't seem to bother. Okay, and then this is the little, oh, it's almost ready to be refilled. It's a Varsity with Monteverde Purple Rain in it. Millimeter. Yeah, I think probably I'm running into brain stuckness because I'm thinking about all of the different notebooks, but I'm trying to review this one. Let's see, I think the main thought on the price was it was a good price, not cheap, but affordable. I mean, I'm willing to pay $6, or, you know, in the case of getting a sale, I can go in and do the 50 off on the second notebook and start to begin to save. I'm willing to do that because of being able to get so creative on the page with this notebook. So that's where I'm at with that thought. And of course this gets messy, and I can do, I really love having the column, and especially on the flip side of it. Now, okay, one other thing, and we do want to record this one. I would love it if the holes weren't there. I just have to admit that. And I know they're for putting it in a 3-ring binder, so holes. I'm just gonna put a non-smiley face. Yeah, I don't need those. And we're gonna go directly back to our little spider web there. But you know, you can't, it seems like it's hard to get everything in one notebook, but certainly I'm filling this one up. I mean, I've got just page after page of notes and process work, and it's so nice. So we'll let this dry a little bit, and then we'll be back. Okay, I let that dry for about a minute and a half, and this is where, you know, it's still drying. It's not completely dry, but we've got a blotter page to put in here. And being so impatient is actually going to be in the favor of trying this out, because what I plan to do is come back over on the back here and just show you. We had one little area. Let's see, that was over here. So that was Lamy Dark Lilac interacting with maybe a Birmingham ink and quite a bit of water. But that does not bother me. And of course, I'm sure you can see the ghosting. You can see the pattern of that on there. But this is totally acceptable to me. Like, I don't want to do this kind of thing on Tomoe River paper, because it would just feel like I wouldn't even dare. And I'm always trying to overcome that. The business of, you know, just going ahead and being messy on the page is really a big part of journaling and making breakthroughs, is not being so fussy. So I'll leave the Tomoe River paper for letters and ink journal, because the ink journal, knowing that I'm going to write letters with my inks, I do want to know what it looks like on the Tomoe River. But this is different. This is a whole different thing. So what I plan to do is make a mess on the back of here, and then we'll go back and look at the other side. And this doesn't come easy for me, so okay. So CVS Caliber notebook. And what did we say the size was? 11 by 8.5. We get 100 pages. 7mm line. Under $6. Okay, and that's full retail. I like the looks of the notebook online. It was actually under $6, and it was a thicker one. It seemed like it had more pages. At least it had more divisions for you. So I'm going to make some wavy lines, because we're going to activate a little color. Okay, so this was the gravity wave, and then we'll come in with some Sulfurino from Rohr and Klinger. I'm taking a risk because I can tell. Normally I'll like get up after I've made my mind map and tend to the cats, do a few chores, let it dry a little more. But I'm really not, I'm trying to get over that kind of fussiness, so we'll just let that sit. And here's the, yeah, this is dry on this. Probably taking a big risk there, but that's okay. Whatever we learn will just be something we learn. And yeah, I always come back over and write with the flex nib if I don't end up having to fill it again. If you want to use up ink, just get one of these Fountain Pen Revolution. Okay, nibs. And the pen, Noodler's Ahab. Yeah, I can see the water underneath. So that ought to be a real humdinger. We'll see what happens. This is not a particularly vicious ink or anything. It's a Sailor Amano Ackaby. It's just real saturated and pretty. All right, what else do we want to do? I mean, I haven't gotten everything. Yesterday I inked this up, and I, for the life of me, don't know what got into me. Twisby Mini, Birmingham Bordeaux. Oh, I must have wanted to see that. Yeah, that's what it was. That's how you end up with 20 pens inked up. With the broad nib unit. I cleaned up the Opus 88 Colero and put its own Opus broad nib on it, which I didn't have when I first got the pen. It had a medium, and I put the broad Twisby back on the Twisby Mini, which was always my intention. This is a little dry on here, which is odd because Birmingham inks are not dry. But if I remember right, I figured out the reason. Yeah, this is a real kind of a stable ink. It's that Birmingham Bordeaux, and it doesn't really like go bye-bye when you put the water. Even if you wanted to get one of these tiny notebooks, this size, this 6x4, is $1.29. Just to go nuts and learn about your ink and water reactions, I think it's worth it. I got that one yesterday because I didn't have any smaller ones left. And then the next size up, I think this is 5x7 or something like that. This one, it just, I'll fill it up eventually. Bordeaux, and I think it's crisp formula. This was sent by a pen friend, Casey, so I could try it out, and it's really cool. See, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but it's still wet on the other side, and I've added water here too. So let's just go crazy and add some more water, and then we will try to protect the desk, and we'll look at the back. Okay, so up here, I just want to go, you know, like I would. I mean, I could get a spray bottle out, but that's not what I'm doing here. If I was doing art, I might use a spray bottle. Whoops, but this is not art. This is just a demo. Still, wavy line and activate that ink. Whoops. Well, I don't know why I care. I do like seeing the colors interact.
8:10 a.m.
Just a minute, Coco. Oh. Last night he got in trouble. He got a little model helicopter down somehow, and it ended up in the middle of the room, but at least he didn't break it because it was kind of delicate, something of manuals. So I was like, whoa, what were you doing, Coco? Okay, well, we'll just go over that just to activate it. Since we're, you know, perfectionism was my subject today. When you just don't need it here. This is an experiment. Okay. That's about as nuts as I can go, I guess. Of course, this is just going to pretty much wipe out, but that's okay. Who wants to pay full retail anyway? Okay. I want to leave a little time at the end to show you the other sizes and so on. So, now I'm really going to be sorry I don't have a pad on the bottom of here. Let's just get that piece of Clairefontaine. Still wet, but we're going to go back over and look at the other side. I just think, you know, if you're going to sell a notebook, this is a way to do it. Whoops. ruining my next page, is not on the plan. Okay, so here we go, and we can even get a little closer. We've got a little bit, let me get my pointer here. We got a little bit of activation here. Let me make it bigger for you. So you see what happens, because, I mean, we were dealing with a lot of water. Let's see, what was that? So that was a little bit of this, the Acabee, that where it wasn't dry on the other side, which normally would be. If you, I promise you, if you let it fully dry on this side, you won't even get the smaller. You don't have to get a smaller activation unless you're coming in with a Hardy Noodler's ink or something that's just, you already are aware that it behaves that way. But this is incredible as far as I'm concerned. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I talked myself out of it because I thought, well, it's a little bit weird, but I don't think so. I think it's just that I'm not used to making a mess. But I mean, you can feel the paper still wet. You can feel it from the other side, and yet it's not drawing that ink in except for Acabee coming in here. That's not a problem. So I think you could see, you could use this as a work notebook or whatever with fountain pens. And most people would probably not be using quite as many at a time, so you'd probably be aware of what you're using. Now let's go back onto the other side. And I just, you know, a heavy ghosting, a little bit of yellow seemed to maybe seep through there from that Noodler's ink, but again, that's Noodler's, and it's barely, I don't even know if you can see that. Just barely, probably. Okay, so that's it. That's my soapbox, or that's my, not trying to persuade you to buy one of these, because the paper is probably not for everyone. It's kind of somewhere in between smooth and toothy, so it's, you want a flowy ink. I do, anyway. I want it to really flow. Okay, let's look at what other sizes are available. Some of you that have watched me a long time, this will be boring, but because I just show and show and show these notebooks. Okay, the one I'm having trouble finding is the tablet, and that's really unfortunate. I started to become a haunter of CVS's because this is all I have left of the one tablet I have left, and it's just the writing tablet with the how many millimeters is this? This looks wide ruled. Yeah, this is 9 millimeter, but I like it. And I can't find them anymore, so that's getting me. I think that it may be just temporary though, because the supply goes way up and then way down, and when they have those sales, it goes down. And then I think this was like almost 5 by 7. Yeah, this is like pretty close to 5 by 7. And then the little bitty one that's 4 by 6, and then the composition notebook, which is wide ruled. And the only thing about this is, for what I'm doing at my kitchen table, I want my book open on the left of me and my notebook. So I don't like to bend and destroy these. So I would rather have this as like a scrapbook or a you know, bunch of ink sprays or something like that. So, but this is the same great paper. Made in Vietnam, and they have a variety of colors, so there's that. This isn't going to be all that pretty. And then there's the one I really love, which is the filler paper. So if you end up liking this, you're in luck, or and especially if you can get a hold of it, because of the variety that it's available in. I think my favorite is the filler paper, the writing tablets, and the large the notebook I'm reviewing today. So okay, I think this was messy enough for me to begin practicing not being a perfectionist. Hopefully it showed you something, and I enjoyed doing it, so I hope you learned something. And please let me know of any paper that you know of that'll do this. If you can make a mind map and use both sides of the paper, I want to hear about it. I really do, because I find that so cool. Just I can remember an older notebook that I had from Office Depot that was also made in Vietnam that would do this, but then I kept going back and I just couldn't find it anymore. And that seems to be the theme with paper. Like sort of, I don't want to be a hoarder because I don't have the space for it, and I don't want any damage to happen to paper while I'm not using it and so forth. But definitely when you can find a good thing, keep your supply kind of going. Okay, that's all for now, folks. Have a great weekend, and see you later. Bye for now.